Warning: Geeking Toyetic is a show aimed at the adult collector, and as such features adult language and humor that is not appropriate for younger audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Welcome everybody to the Geeking Poetic channel. I'm your host Larry Roberts, and this is another installment of Geeking Toyetic. Yes, on the Geeking Toyetic segment, we like to talk about toys. You can see I'm surrounded by toys here. I've been a toy collector for most of my life, and today I'm very happy to look at some new toys that just came in the mail yesterday, because not only does this scratch the itch, so to speak, for my toy collecting, but it also pertains to another hobby of mine, which involves collecting toys and shirts and comics and records of one of my favorite bands of all time. Yes, I'm talking about Kiss. Now, just recently, I did a Kiss vinyl unboxing. You can check that out here, where I unboxed and reviewed the latest Kiss Dressed to Kill 50th anniversary box set, which was amazing. But today, I'm excited to say that I have some new toys that are Kiss related that I can't wait to check out. Now again, if you've been watching the channel at all over the last year or so, you know that one of the things I've been doing a lot of unboxing videos for, because I'm very enthusiastically collecting, are the NECA Ben Cooper action figures. Now, you may know these started coming out last year, sometime in 2024. They are the figures that are made to look like young kids wearing old school Ben Cooper costumes. And to date, they've come out with all different kinds. They've really run the gamut of all the different kinds of old school costumes that we grew up with back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and even in the 90s. And for a lot of us out there that are fans of the band Kiss, we've wondered if there was any chance they were going to remake those classic costumes that we grew up with back in the late 70s. And the actual costumes themselves have become extremely collectible. They were very fragile. I mean, most people didn't buy those old Ben Cooper and Collegeville brand costumes to keep. Thankfully, some people did, and you can collect them. I do collect old costumes, but the Kiss ones are very expensive. They're very tough to find complete. So for a lot of us, it's really difficult to collect those and be able to, you know, bask in the nostalgia of those days. But thankfully, NECA heard the call and they said, all right, we will make those figures. And so they did. Let's just open up this box. I really want to see them. That's the first time I'm going to see these in person, other than just seeing the pictures on the website online like all the rest of you have. Let's check these out. I'm going to open them up and I'm going to see if they turned out as cool as they look online, or maybe not. I don't know. Won't know until we open them up. So anyway, without any further ado, let's get to some unboxing. All right, here we go. Let's see if we get this open quickly and safely. And as always, when I do these unboxings, one of the first things I like to do is review how they packaged it and shipped it. Because, I mean, let's face facts, for most of us, this is a collectible. This is something that we're investing in. Even if you're not going to turn around and sell it, it's still something that, you know, you want it to look nice on your shelf, and so you don't want it to be all bent and dinged up. And too often anymore with these companies, that ends up being exactly what we get. But right off the bat, looking at this, I can see that they've done a pretty good job of adding some proper packing materials in here. A couple of times I've ordered stuff lately, they've just literally thrown toys in a box with nothing in there. No paper, no plastic, no styrofoam, nothing, and these things get pretty beat up. So that is disappointing. But no, NECA did a pretty good job here with this. All right, pulling out the first figure. we have, oh man, appropriately enough, it is Space Ace. There he is, man. Yeah, we just lost Ace Frehley not long ago, which is, you know, is a real shame, needless to say. But look at that box. That looks excellent. Oh man. See, and that was one of the things. I did see this online, and I thought it looked cool online, but you never really know until you get it in your hand. They did a great job with this. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see that, but that is an excellent looking box. For one thing, I love the fact that you can see most of the figure on there. Some of the other ones you only saw, you know, a partial bit of the character, and I mean, I realize the pants aren't all that exciting on these, but you still want to get a good look at the whole figure. And yeah, they did a great job with these. It does resemble very closely, again, it's not exact, it's a new take on it, but it is very close to the way the old boxes from 1978-79 appeared for the old costumes. So that is killer. And on the back of the box, you can see they picture all 4 characters there. So yeah, man, this is great. Very nostalgic, you know, the kind of thing that just really takes me back to those days. Coming out next from the box, we have, oh, it's the Catman. There he is. So yeah, as you can see, just like with all the other Ben Cooper and Collegeville style costumes from back then, it's not exactly a costume that looks like what the guys in Kiss wore. No, it's just a plastic smock type of thing that has a picture of the character on it and the band logo. But, you know, back when I was a kid, I even realized that that wasn't really what I wanted. I wanted to look like one of the guys in Kiss. So I ended up buying the costumes, but I only ended up wearing the mask. And then my parents made a costume for me. Yeah, as you can see in the photo, my costume left a lot to be desired in terms of it actually looking anything like what Kiss was wearing. But you know what? I still thought it looked a lot better than wearing these silly plastic smocks with the band's photo on it. Yeah. So anyway, here's Peter, and I think he looks great. I'm very happy with that. Coming up next is the Starchild. Yep, it's Paul Stanley there. And one thing that's also different on these, you can see they did it on one of the figures, but on the original masks, they had a molded and painted hair, which is what you see on here, but they also came with some black, you know, cottony fuzzy stuff to try and replicate the band's long hair. They did not do that on most of these. On this, you end up just getting the molded hair look on the mask there. But I mean, it's still technically accurate, but it's a shame that they didn't all have that fake, you know, whatever woolly looking hair that would go over the top of it. So, but yeah, again, you know, figure looks great. I don't remember if that's the same photo. And that's the other thing. I'd have to look it up. I don't remember if the photos that they used for the costume smock things here, I don't know if those are the same ones that came on the originals. If I can find photos, I will add them here and we can compare them. But again, these aren't necessarily meant to be like perfect replicas. For one thing, as Kiss does nowadays, they don't put Gene, Paul, Peter, and Ace. Now it is specifically just the Starchild, the Demon, the Spaceman, so on. That's a whole other thing. All you Kiss fans can argue amongst yourselves about that whole thing. I'm not getting into that here. I'm just talking about these specific figures. And last but not least, yeah, appropriately enough, we have Gene. We have the Demon. This was the one that I dressed up as you already saw. Yeah, this is great. And this one looks like he does have the fuzzy hair that they added on there. So it's interesting that they decided to do that for Gene, but they didn't do that for all 4 figures. I don't know why they would do that. I feel like they should either have done all of them or none of them. But I mean, I understand why maybe they would do the Gene one, because the way his hair sticks up, it's so iconic. It kind of would really feel weird if they didn't add that on there. But, you know, when you look at the other guys, especially Ace and Paul, the way the molded hair is, it's so short. It looks kind of weird. I don't know. That's probably my only real complaint about these, is that I wish they would have stuck a little bit more consistently with the detail. But other than that, oh, I think these look great. They're exactly what they're supposed to be. You know, I'll put these on the shelf. I can put them next to my Kiss records. I could maybe put them on the wall next to some of my framed posters. But yeah, this will fit right in there. And this is certainly a much more affordable option for those that have fond memories of the old costumes from the 70s like this, but you can't afford the prices to go out and get the actual costumes. I do know that as of filming right now, from what I understand, these are sold out, unfortunately. I hate to tell you that, because I know a lot of times I love being able to tell you at home, like, hey, go right now to the website and order these. But when I last looked, it looked like they were sold out. So, other than like on the aftermarket on eBay or through collector groups online, I'm not sure where you're going to be able to find these. Now, there is a chance that these might start showing up on shelves at places like Target and Walmart. We've seen that happen in the past, where other waves of the NECA Ben Cooper figures were sold out online, but then they did start showing up on shelves. If you go into the toy sections of places like Walmart and Target and you don't see these there, you need to go over into the collectibles area. There's a little collectibles area, especially over in Target. It's usually over near where the electronics and the vinyl records and the DVDs and Blu-rays and all that sort of thing are. There's usually a section where they carry a lot of the NECA things, the Super 7 stuff, the more what they consider, I guess, high-end and geared more towards mature collectors. That's where you need to find these. So if you're going, oh man, I keep checking the toy aisles in these stores, they never have them, you got to go check in those other sections, because that's mainly where they're putting these, because these aren't really meant to be sold to kids. These are not being geared towards children at all. This is for adult collectors like us, you know, even though we are big overgrown kids ourselves. All right, and that does it for another episode of Geeking Toyetic and our look at the new NECA Ben Cooper Kiss costume figures. Like I said, other than a couple of little nitpicking things, I'm really happy with these. I think these are great. I've got more Kiss unboxings coming up very soon. I'm still waiting on that Dress to Kill picture disc, as well as the Alive picture disc and maybe the Alive box set. There's a lot of really cool Kiss things coming out here at the end of 2025, and I will be doing unboxings as soon as I get any of that in my hands. So if you're into that, make sure you check back. As always, I greatly appreciate it if you like and you share and you comment, and please subscribe. It helps so much for the channel to be able to keep doing this. And honestly, I just love talking to all of you collectors and fans out there. Anyway, I'll be back soon. So in the meantime, you know, happy hunting. I hope you find some great toys or great records if you collect that, and let me know what you found. And in the meantime, take it easy, everybody. I'll see you soon.